and it shot out from underneath him. He slams his face into the roof. You know, one thing that cracks me up, especially about guys that are in the insurance side of roofing, is that there's always this like tension between the roofing contractor and the adjuster, and they're in this never-ending battle of wills. And to me, it never made any sense. I never understood that. You see, I've got family who's on the adjuster side of things. I've got family who's on the roofer side of things. You know, where I'm at, I'm on the roofer side of things. At the end of the day, there are roofing companies that do things that give the other roofers a bad reputation. There's 10% of the guys out there that give the other 90% of us a bad reputation. I'm not denying that. But I think it's really unfair and immature of adjusters to treat all roofers like they're the same, and roofers to treat all adjusters like they're the same. Because I have met some very trashy, bad people that happen to be roofers. And I've met some very trashy, bad people that happen to be insurance adjusters. But I've also met some of the coolest people I've ever met in my life that are roofers, and the same to insurance adjusters. And so I always say, you know, it's important to, when you're out there on that roof with that adjuster, you don't have to be best friends with the individual, but you need to try to at least treat them with respect. You'd be surprised how far respect can get you. But that leads me to a story. I was running a claim. This is back during when Hurricane Michael hits. This has been a little while. I think 2018. Running this storm. There was an adjuster that came out. Big insurance company. Don't want to say the name, but everybody who works with insurance companies is very happy because they have a reputation of buying things. This adjuster, I don't know if he hadn't gotten laid in a week. I don't know if he maybe had some rat poop in his cereal instead of, because you know that happened. You get the rat poop instead of the raisins in your cornflakes. I don't know. I don't know if he maybe was constipated, or I don't know what his deal was. But this guy was a damn asshole to me for no reason. The entire time we got out there, he was just rude the entire time we were out there. And I was trying to be nice, and I was trying to be a good guy, and this guy's just being a dick for no reason. And so I told him, I said, sir, I said, you know, I'm here to help you. And he's like, well, if you're here to help me, just go ahead and get down. I said, well, I'm also here to help the customer as well. So I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to sit down on this ridge. And whenever you're done, I'm going to take some photos of what you have marked up. And he interrupts me and says, you can't be taking photos of what I mark up. Sir, I understand that you're frustrated about something, and maybe it's me, or maybe it's this claim or something else, but I'm here to do my job. I'm going to take the photos, and you know, I'm going to hold this rope for you as well. I don't need no rope. I don't need no rope. I said, well, this is a pretty steep roof. We're 2 stories in the air on a 12-12 on an Atlas chalet that's degranulated with wind-blown shingles and D-lams and overdriven nails all throughout the roof. So I would highly recommend you take this rope. I don't need no rope. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. It's like, okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, this dude needs medication at this point, I'm thinking, right? So we proceed to do the inspection. He's just being ridiculous and over the top. Well, he steps on a shingle, and he goes, and it shoots out from underneath him, and he loses balance. And so he grabs onto the ridge, and he's like, oh, okay, this thing is degranulated. I said, yeah. I said, I tell you what, sir, let me get you a rope. I'm here with the Ridge Pro. I'm here to get you a rope, and you feel free to use it. I don't know. I said, sir, it's not going to cost you anything. It's right here. I'm happy to help. So reluctantly, he kind of grabbed onto the rope. And so he's doing his inspection. Of course, he tried to let that rope go when he doesn't need it. You know, I'm thinking, dude, we're both up here to get paid and get home to our families. Like, don't make this a bigger deal than it needs to be. And so he's walking, and he steps on a shingle that's had blow-throughs on it, which is basically, if you're not a roofer, a blow-through is when they're installing the shingle and the nail goes through the shingle, but the head of the nail also goes to the shingle. So it's literally nothing but tar holding the shingle onto the roof surface. So it was a double blow-through. He stepped on it, and that, with both feet, and it shot out from underneath him. He slams his face into the roof, sliding down, grabs the rope. Again, he had 3 to 5 more feet before he'd been off the edge, but he grabbed the rope. Thankfully, I had the rope there for him, and he, I don't know if he went halfway to heaven or what, but he kind of had a little bit of an attitude change there. He's, his chin's bleeding a little bit, and he's got his arm scratched up, and he's, oh my God, are you okay? I'm fine. And he kind of gets himself together, and I told him, I said, look, we can get down, we can inspect this a different day, we get whatever we need to do. I said, I can take you to the hospital, and he's like, no, I'm fine. And she takes with me a few more photos, and he's a little shooken up, and we get down, and he goes to his truck and takes his boots off, and he gets in his truck, and I thought, well, this guy's an asshole. He's not even going to thank me for saving his life by having this rope here. And he gets back out of his truck, and he comes back around and shakes my hand and says, sir, he's like, I apologize for the way that I acted today. I wanted to thank you for being here. I believe that if you weren't here, things would have gone differently for me. And I've got a wife and a little girl at home about 4 states away from here that would miss me if I was gone. And it touched me, really. I was like, man, that's no problem. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help. I was like, it's a dangerous job that we do. And, I'm glad we were able to work together. He said, I'm going to write this thing up for a replacement. He said, turns out I wound up damaging the roof when I slipped right there. So at the very least, we need to get this roof replaced. So, guys, I say that story just to say, you never know when, being kind to somebody and doing the right thing can actually work out in your favor. Now, I know guys get in this industry, they make a little bit of money, and they get an ego the size of Texas. But if you put that ego to the side and just try to be helpful and respectful, it's always worked out for me. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one.